Everybody, let's just click. We're gonna switch over to another screen really quick because you can't hear those two. Discord needs to be added to this. Let me see, sources, application, audio capture. Me, I'm just busy normally. That's why I'm quiet. Oh hey, there's a dick sword in here already. All right, cool. And source. There we go. Let's see here. Properties. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know everything. Say something?
Something.
Yeah, you're being picked up. Cool.
Beetle is up! Oh, wait, he has to be heard.
No, go ahead and say it. Say it.
Beetle is a very, very nice person.
See, I'm a very, very nice person.
Beetle is constantly stealing things from other people and is an asshole.
What? I thought it was funny to use. Nobody can actually see it though. That's the funny part. So it's only in OBS. I just call Discord something else. That's all. Anyway, welcome to the Let's Talk CAW Shop podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm one of your hosts, Triple B, alongside Odds Cornet and Young Samurai.
Hello. Hello.
And today we're going to cover something at first that that's been going around. There's a rumor out there right now that the new game is going to be a SmackDown versus Raw title. I've done my own research on this. I've checked 2K's website. I checked WWE's Twitter account. I've checked pretty much everywhere I can to try and see if there's any validity to this being a SmackDown versus Raw game, and I haven't been able, personally in my searches, I haven't been able to find anything that pinpoints that this is accurate. But Odds or Samurai, have either of you guys found anything? I know we were all kind of looking into it a little bit.
Not really. I've seen a few videos talking about it, but it's none of the big YouTubers.
Okay, so it's like not a credible source saying it or
not
it's not
really
normally comment on it.
But at the same time, some of these small things that no one pays attention to have been proven to be right before in the past. So
yeah,
you never know.
Exactly.
We shall find out eventually.
So,
yes.
What?
And for this, let me read you what I posted about it in Blaze's thing. And this will be a good summary of if this is true.
Hey, Chaz.
Hello.
Hello, Chaz.
I have mixed feelings.
Okay.
The child in me is happy to see something part of my childhood back, but on the other hand, this isn't THQ, and I fear the name may be just being used for how beloved those games in the series are, and this could taint legacy classics like SVR's legacy by adding one to the list that doesn't live up to those games in the series' legacy. And giving people who have never played an SVR game a negative view on them with a new SVR, but at the same time, with how long it's been since SVR has had their last game, which is SVR 2011, I think the fans on the on the THQ era games and the SVR games will have high expectations that can't possibly be met, since an SVR game may have been someone's first in the series, with SVR 07 being on Xbox 360 in the early days of the PS3, Wii, and Xbox 360 era.
That's fair. I mean, I had it on the PlayStation 2. But that was when I had 06 and 07. I didn't have them on the newer consoles.
Yeah, and the reason those games are so talked about and so remembered, 06 and 07, mainly, is because of the fact that they were in that transitional period. They were PlayStation. It was the last. 06 was the last game on the last gen.
Yep.
While 07 was the first on the next gen, which was the next gen was already out, which was the Xbox 360, which let's face it, let's call a spade a spade and be fair. Xbox 360 was whooping the PlayStation 3's ass when the PlayStation 3 finally got out of the starting gate.
Yeah.
Because people at Sony decided to say, we're going to sabotage ourselves today by making the PlayStation 3.
Good lord. Ah, man. I remember having that decision of, do I get a 360 or do I get a 3? Because I wasn't able to get both at first. I had to actually get a full-time job before I was able to afford the other console. So one of them was a gift or a Christmas present, and the other was I had to wait until I had a full-time job before I could buy it. And that full-time job was the PlayStation 3 for me. I chose the 360 at first. But my first wrestling game was WWF, and I'm going to age myself here, Warzone. Warzone was my first. Warzone and WCW Nitro for PlayStation. But Samurai, we never let you over. What are your thoughts on them changing the name to SBR?
Possibly.
Possibly changing it. I don't think it'd be a bad thing. But then again, I do see the points of, like, if it's a bad game, that's like the first like bad SBR in the cycle, pretty much.
Well, it wouldn't be the first. 08 exists.
Yep.
I was gonna say, like, let me rephrase that then. The first one in this new batch of games, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you can't just slap a new name on something if 2K is going to do the same bullshit they always do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they would
slapping a new name on something doesn't mean that it's not shit immediately.
Also, thank you, Rage, for the raid. You're the man.
Hell yeah, Rage!
What's up, Rage?
What's up, Rage? And why in the hell is Discord not working?
What do you mean?
Or why in the hell is this not working on my phone?
What do you mean?
I'm trying to share it out.
Oh. For me, I have like mixed feelings about them potentially calling this new game that's coming out a SmackDown vs. Raw game. For one, if they're going to do it and they're going to put a GM mode in there, it needs to be a GM mode like the original games. Like, if they were to have a SmackDown vs. Raw game with a GM mode and a story designer, and they both don't work like they used to, I would not be happy. I would actually be pretty upset if we weren't worried about all the little intricacies that you have to worry about in a GM mode type game. So that's my only worry. It's I don't have. It's not that I don't have faith in 2K, because so far 24 has been good until the last patch. There's a lot of people having issues with this last patch, but up until then, it's been pretty solid. And what's up, Fiery? Welcome in.
Hey, Fire.
Hey, Fiery.
But that's my only fear with 2K using that name and wanting to probably do things the 2K way, which is a ton of fucking DLC, like they always do. I would rather.
But he didn't start with 2K.
I know.
The only difference was the DLC, the DLC in the THQ era was on disc.
Right, it was pre-done, and
it was already pre-done. It was already pre-done.
That's the only thing that worries me about the 2K games, and them taking that, if they take the name SmackDown versus Raw. I'd rather they leave it as WWE 25, personally. Like, I'd rather have it be WWE 2K25. That is...
But if they do that, the reason they're doing it is because of how my inner child reacted to the idea. My inner child instantly said, "Ooh, bye."
I get it, but my inner child would be looking at that, saying the same exact thing, and then hoping that when I bought it, it lived up to the expectations. And I don't know if I...
Yes, but what I'm saying is, if they do that, the people that they are trying to get at are people that have left the game series and have not played it in a while, and have been gone for quite some time, and see the SVR name and remember their past and remember how much they loved the game series. It was like, ooh, let me buy that.
And then
because of...
Sorry. And I'm gonna be honest, my inner child would just be looking at this and going, what is this?
That's right.
Because I'll be honest, I didn't start playing wrestling games until like the 2K series.
Yeah. I don't
know. My inner child was jumping up and down. My inner adult was just like, if they do this, then they're using this name for clout.
Yeah, my inner child was like, if they're doing this, then that means we're going to get some of the cool things that we had in the old games back. But the other part of it was that I don't know. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I do. Like, you've known me long enough. You know that I love giving them the benefit of the doubt on everything. I even did it on 15.
You do that way too far.
I did that with 15. Okay?
Yes, you do. You were fighting me on it forever.
Yes, I was. I know, I remember. But now that same person who gave them all that leeway on 15 is now the same person that is like, I'm worried they're gonna flop this. This is gonna be their 10th anniversary game, or this is their 10th game in the series. And
their 10th game.
It's their 10th game, and if they switch it back to SmackDown versus Raw, in my opinion, they better hit the freaking ball out of the park. Because those games have a very special place with me. They have a very special place.
It has a special place with you, and it also proves that. Also proves one thing: they can't do this. They can't do this without that THQ legacy.
Yeah, which is also kind of why I'm hoping that they don't do it and they just do a WWE 2K25 game. I want them to make their own legacy and not latch on to the THQ legacy.
That's right, but again, this is just a rumor. There are plenty of rumors like this at the very start of this cycle.
Yep.
We are not going to know what really is going to happen with 2K25 until they announce it.
Exactly. Also, welcome in Prime Time. Welcome in Brian LG. How you guys doing? Hi Mackenzie as well.
Welcome in. One of the things that did kind of sound kind of suspicious in that pic that I did send you guys that
Mhm.
that came up in the locker room was the fact that they were discussing that the quote discussion was either Braun Breaker or Tiffany Stratton as the cover star.
Or LA Knight, I think was another one.
Yeah, I think that was another one, which is just I not to diss any of them. It's like if you're having anyone as the cover star, why wouldn't you do Cody
or Punk or both? If it's especially if it's SmackDown versus Raw, you would have two cover athletes facing off against each other on the cover of the game. So it's CM Punk face to face with Cody Rhodes, SmackDown versus Raw, or Cody Rhodes face to face with Roman Reigns, or something like that, where you have someone from SmackDown, someone from Raw, and they're facing off against each other on the cover. That's what I would do if that were the case.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Or do 4 cover athletes, do 2 guys and 2 girls, but so it's equal.
And hell, if they do bring it back, please do a variation on the original SmackDown versus Raw commercial.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be awesome hearing that again. Generations. Much can be learned from past generations. Because past generations write history. And the future awaits a new generation. And to be in the JR spot, since he's gotten so much better with Vince being gone, I would put Michael Cole in that spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I 100% agree on this. Okay. So we've covered the elephant in the room, which is the potential for
news story, whatever.
Yeah, the elephant in the room, or the news story, or whatever we want to call it. So now let's focus on our main topic, the title of the podcast itself, or the topic in the title, movesets.
Ooh, this might get very intriguing, considering we all have a little bit of a different philosophy as far as the movesets go. But let's start with this.
Let's start with Samurai.
Yeah.
Okay, so not gonna lie, I wasn't prepared to figure out what I want to say for this.
We're putting you on the spot.
But okay, hold up.
Gosh, dang it, Fiery.
I'll say like this as far as movesets go. I'm usually the guy that's very like kind of. I basically just kind of do copy and paste of a lot of the moves from different wrestlers. For example, like CAW Young is basically a mixture of John Cena and CM Punk. Max Young, I think I finally got Edge moveset for him this year. Yeah, I think I found an Edge moveset for him. Samantha is basically Rob Van Dam after I talk with odds. Because I think I was switching up our moveset anyways, and he pretty much gave me the idea of Rob Van Dam over originally Matt Riddle.
Hey, Wally.
And Matt Riddle without the allegations against him. Anyway.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
But the whole thing is that pretty much like for my movesets, pretty much I just basically take a moveset that's either in the game or on CC or whatever, and then make adjustments as necessary. Because a lot of times I'll send them to a show or a federation that pretty much is just like don't use don't put finishers in the movesets or whatever. So I always have to make sure I double check to make sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know you have a different philosophy on this one there, Odds, because I've seen your movesets.
Yes, I do.
But we'll get to you in a minute. Pretty much just for me, it's just basically like I'll just take a moveset, adjust it as necessary, change the finishers if needed, and then pretty much that's my whole thing.
So, what's a good example of someone who you've given a moveset to, gone in and changed a few things, and why? Like, how about Danny Wells? Danny Wells. These guys all know Danny.
Okay.
What's your philosophy behind the Danny Wells moveset?
Literally, I think on 2K22, because there wasn't a Kurt Angle in the game, I just went with Chad Gable. And then usually it's either I take a moveset like Chad or Kurt or whoever it is, and just slap it on him, but then like go in and adjust it as needed to get to the finisher I have, which for him is the crossface.
Okay. So when
I'm not.
did
Sorry.
did
Go
you
ahead.
change any other moves along the way to make the crossface more effective? Like, because I know Kurt's moveset is the ankle lock, so he's gonna focus more on your legs and then hit you with those wrestling slams because he's Kurt Angle. But if when you were making Danny's, did you focus anything on the head at all, or did you change any of the moves around?
I can actually look at that right now since I'm on 2K, but I think mainly I just basically I go for whenever I go in to make a moveset, I usually just like think, okay, what's the finisher? In this case, for Danny, it's the crossface or the angle slam, because technically the angle slam is technically his, like, I think Kurt's normally his signature. I think
It is his signature, even though that doesn't make any damn sense.
But pretty much for Danny, I just basically go in and I basically double check his stuff, and like it's like, okay, this move doesn't hit where I need it to, so let me just adjust this, just keep looking through it. Same thing with like for example, like if I'm trying to find like, because I've noticed like I gave him like the signature of a moonsault. I'm just now thinking, okay, let me make sure that the moonsault doesn't pop up anywhere else, because I think I noticed he does do it sometimes. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to check.
Yeah.
Huh.
And that's happened also before with another call of mine. This is gonna probably be difficult for odds to pronounce sometimes. Ji Jun Feng Huang, aka known as Ji. I gave her for the longest time. I gave her the Ricochet moveset,
Okay.
and her finisher is the Phoenix Splash. I think on 22 was where I noticed I forgot to actually double check her moveset, because I noticed that apparently Ricochet loves to do that from anywhere.
Yep. That and the Phoenix Splash is also one of the finishers of.
Oh, finisher.
American Phoenix.
Shut the fuck up, Phoenix. We're not talking about you.
I love doing that bombastic voice for Phoenix.
I'm just saying.
I know you do.
I've seen that damn finisher so many times. So when I heard you say you gave for the Phoenix Splash, I was like, oh, wait till he hears whose. Oh,
I know. You think I don't remember that shit from like how many times I've seen a CPW show?
Technically, that's why I named him American Phoenix in the first place. I gave him
You wanted the Phoenix Splash? Like, okay, American Phoenix. There we go.
Well, technically, as I've stated, he had another name beforehand, but when I changed him to American Phoenix, I had to think of another finisher. So I'm like, the Phoenix Splash.
Yep.
It's a good finisher. I'll say that much. It's a good finish.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Seth Rollins' version of the Phoenix Splash is impressive, but has the look of I don't give a shit out of every Phoenix Splash I've ever seen. Because he doesn't even tuck himself in to do a freaking 450. He just his whole body just flops.
Pretty much.
I was like, G, aka the woman that, if you've seen a certain other streamer, currently is in the hospital because she got punch kicked in the head. And now she's out for I don't know how long yet.
Damn.
I'll say a certain someone in the chat will know what I'm talking about, and if he says something about it, well, he'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, is there anything else you guys want to know before I pass the mic to one of you two?
We have to hear the Samantha story.
Okay, Samantha.
Of her freaking moveset just in general, because I've had her freaking damn near since the start.
Yeah, about, I think, what was it, like 2K19, and then we kept moving along?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay, if I remember correctly, like, her inspiration came straight from, I believe it was, because I was watching Dank Ops, and I got the inspiration of, like, oh yeah, let me make CAW Young his, a younger sister from UFC. Try to do that. I don't remember who his moveset originally used, but all I can tell you right now is I made the mistake of trusting somebody else to do her moveset. And I know, odds, you've complained about it way too many times.
Oh yes, way too many times privately I have voiced my displeasure.
I think after that, I just kept on, like, I just worked on it myself, went like, okay, let me think what I want to do. I went with the Zack Ryder stuff because I thought it was kind of cool. As I know you've complained about that finisher before, the Rough Rider.
That's just a personal pet peeve.
Yeah,
that's nothing more than a personal pet peeve.
I think after that, I did move into more like Matt Riddle, like Matt Cardona combination stuff.
Yeah.
And then, well, more recently, it's been more just to Rob Van Dam himself.
Uh-huh.
With some extra like adjustments here and there. Like, for example, like Samantha still has the frog splash. I think now does like this like the slingshot lariat that Logan Paul started using.
Oh yes. The man that does the buckshot better than the person that does the buckshot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I took it and then just went wild with it. I put it for her, Samantha's whole moveset, it's basically about the fact that, like, I'm trying to keep her, like, somewhat, like, energetic and high-flying. I would say energetic and high-flying, but, like, somewhat more energetic rather than just be, like the fucking ground and pound or anything like that, like, that you would see out of a Max Young or a CAW Young.
Right.
And by the moveset in general, but just by watching her recent match at Bound for Success, her moveset is phenomenal.
Like I said, it's just Rob Van Dam, but I adjusted a few things.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have asked so much about Danny, Samantha. Do you want to round it up with a third one so you can figure out who else?
Yeah, sure. Let's round it off with the third one. Someone that both Odds and I have had on our shows before. Jason Oliver.
Okay, with Jason. Okay, I'll just make this one brief. Originally, he was just John Gargano with some adjustments here and there. But more recently, I think I actually passed him over to a buddy of both me and Rage, Mr. Eddie Reed. And Eddie pretty much just like gave him some other ideas. With the fact, I think I did like adjust him with like I gave him like the rolling cutter as a finisher, but well nowadays I first started with like the crossroads. But because it was hitting the head and it would and the moveset nowadays is more like a body and arm set because Jason now also like features the Kimura lock.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I had to figure out like either a new finisher or something to work with to basically like to hit the body with. But when I was looking, I was like, oh wait a minute, the rolling cutters still work. Because they hit the body. I'm like, okay, cool. This works out perfectly for me now.
Okay.
It still works nowadays, though, so it's like, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so who wants to go next? Let me just pass the mic to somebody else. Because I've been talking last like 20 minutes.
I'll take the baton because I'm kind of like I have a feeling I'm kind of in the middle of both of you as far as movesets are concerned. So
There's me, which is the
I'll
copy and
take
paste. Although I will say there is only one moveset that I do work on. Well, two movesets that I work on every game because of the fact that someone helped me out with making them at one point, and actually makes it perfect because you're the one next one in line.
Really?
If you know who I'm talking about, Beetle, they used to be your tag team champions at one point, the female
Yes,
side.
Hannah and Olivia.
Yep, Hannah and Olivia. They're the only two I actually work on like every year because I'm just like, okay, let me just go here. Let me go to YouTube because they have their movesets unlisted. All right, here we go. Click, 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 click.
Okay. So
All right.
So what I do is, for me, my process, I have a handful of CAWs that have custom movesets. So Jen Corso, Delvin McLeod, Arthur Duncan. Let's see, does Zach have a custom? I think Zach has a custom moveset too. And then Demolition, because he's one of my older CAWs, he has a custom moveset. And so does... I think there's one more that has a custom moveset. I just can't remember who it is right now. But what I do is I put the moveset up in 22. I have all their movesets saved. Kelly, believe it or not, Kelly Mavericks has a custom moveset, but I don't use it for him as often. It's in 19, so it's kind of hard to patch in, but I figured out a way to convert the movesets from 19 to the later games, so I'll probably convert it in next game. But Arthur's moveset is all based around the Dragon Slayer, his finisher. He's got a very efficient moveset, so I'll pick moves that focus on the head and the chest, and they're all ground and pound. And with him, if I have the option to turn off like the top rope stuff or anything like that, I turn it all off. Arthur is supposed to be a mat-based wrestler. Now, Arthur is my current undisputed champion. So his moveset, he has like one of the most focused movesets out of all of my people. His entire goal is to make you tap out. So that's why I have him set up. But he's gone to the top rope recently, and I watched it and went, I turned that off. So I'm gonna check and see if they didn't update anything. But Arthur is supposed to be a ground and pound guy, so all of his moves are based off of ground and pound stuff. I made his moveset in 2K18. I use the same moveset that I made then now. I've just ported it over. Same with Jen Corso. Jen Corso is she's kind of a Japanese strong style character as far as her moveset is concerned. She's got bits of Shinsuke Nakamura, Aleister Black, a bunch of different characters kind of blended into one moveset. She's got her moveset's pretty unique because I'll go through and I'll select every move that I give her. And she has the same moveset that she had from 19 as well, which was a fully custom moveset that I made because my plan was I'm running with this girl and she's going to be my main eventer. Delvin, his moveset's been around since way longer than any of that, but in recent years, I've kind of made his simpler, and I've got like 3 guys whose movesets I normally pull from for his. Pac, Kofi Kingston, and in more recent years, Finn Balor. So he's got kind of a blend of those 3 movesets.
Okay.
Taunt wise, he's got mainly Pac's taunts. But when I turned him heel last year, I actually went in and I removed all of his high flying stuff because my thought process was if he's going to be a heel, he's not willing to take the risks. So he stopped doing the red arrow at one point, and he didn't use the red arrow, and instead he used the UFO. Like, why am I going to jump off the top rope?
When I could just spin you around, round and round and round.
And then brag about it when I'm done. So, I did that last year when I put him in the frickin' pinstripe suit and we were doing the whole Mafia gimmick. I got rid of the red arrow for a little while because I didn't want him doing that. So I actually made the Anaconda Vice his main finisher for a little bit in 23 and kind of played around with, like, how can I make him more heelish, right? What are things that I can take away? What are things that I can add to make it work better? I did the opposite this year with Kelly Mavericks. I haven't changed any of his moves. I just made him cockier. I gave him taunts that were annoying as hell. I've given him an entrance that's annoying as hell. And if you have the most recent version of him, he has a brand new finisher that he stole from Drake Turner.
Super Kick Party?
His best debut is on Hugo's show by bar none.
Oh my god, yes. Yes. That was one of the highlights this year for Kelly Mavericks was debuting in HWA. That was phenomenal because he debuted and Hugo thought he was a face. And then he starts taunting.
Oh,
and
God.
He started taunting, and you hear Hugo go, "Would you stop taunting and actually fight?" And I'm sitting there going, "Yes! I can turn him heel here."
Yes!
That actually...
The easiest heel turn anyone could, whatever, no.
Yes, and I have to thank Hugo for that. Wherever you are, Hugo, if you catch this, thank you, because your reaction to Kelly being on your show put him over even more so as a heel. And your show allowed me to grow as a heel and learn how to annoy the ever-living hell out of the audience as a heel. I learned more being a heel on HWA than I did anywhere else.
You think you'd have learned that from American Phoenix?
I know. That's the funny part. But I learned more, and I was able to make Kelly a bigger heel than even Jesus. I'll say that right now. I think Kelly Mavericks is probably a bigger heel right now and can generate more heat than Jesus de Valencia.
Yeah.
Jesus actually has a cult following. I'm just like, oh god. Like, he shows up and there are people who are like, I like this guy. I'm just like, no, you're supposed to hate him. He's a heel.
Hey, Empress Alicia.
Hey, Alicia, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, Alicia.
But as far as heel work is concerned, Kelly Mavericks and Jesus de Valencia are my two best. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about movesets. Anybody?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised you guys didn't ask me about any of my heels. It was all baby faces y'all asked about.
Does anybody want to guess? Not Odds or Samurai, but anybody in the chat want to guess whose moveset Jesus de Valencia has? Because look at me influencing. Gosh dang it, Drake. Jesus de Valencia has Hollywood Hulk Hogan's moveset. He is legitimately 100% Hogan.
Okay then. Now I know why I hate him.
But this year I actually had my buddy jump in when I was making him. So if you can go back and watch that stream where we both sat there and made Jesus de Valencia from scratch. And when we got to the moveset this year, we actually went in and added different things to it. So he has a custom moveset this year, but in previous years he was just straight Hulk Hogan. Yeah. he's got the leg drop, he's got all the annoying Hogan stuff, but he's also got some extra added stuff that me and my buddy went ahead and added to him this year. And we gave him that ridiculous mustache. That ridiculous mustache that I can't stand. But that's the point of a heel, is to make you can't like them. That's the point. Like with Jesus, he's got to be that character that I love to hate. And
but we've been on the
we have.
But what makes the heel? What makes the heel thing before? If you just go back to the podcast, the other podcasts. It's a playlist on my channel.
Yep.
Just go check out the other podcasts, and you can check out what makes the heel
podcast.
Yep.
Do whichever episode that was, because I don't remember if we actually even titled those episodes.
Yeah, I don't think we titled those, but anyway, we did have one where we talked about heels. But as far as heels go and their moveset wise, I try to make sure that heels have the most annoying taunts I can find. So I'll look for like Hogan's taunt. I'll look for the DX taunts. Any old Shawn Michaels taunt works really well for a heel. There are some other ones too. The Miz, he's got some good taunts that work for heels. If they have,
I think Grayson Waller nowadays.
Yep, Grayson Waller, he's got great taunts for heels. I just look for the most annoying taunts that look like they're either taunting the crowd or doing something silly. And with all my characters, I try to make sure that I at least do their taunts. Because if you at least do the taunts, even if you give them someone's moveset verbatim, if they have different taunts, they'll use them. And when you see them, you don't necessarily think that it's that person. That's how I'm able to get away with Kelly Mavericks pretty much being Montez Ford. When you look at his moveset, he is pretty much Montez Ford. The only difference is I added a super kick. And I've added a few things.
I feel like you and I are the same way. We're just both like, yeah, let's just copy and paste someone's moveset and then just not call it a day, but like adjust things here or there.
That's what I do for most of my CAWs. I have 50 CAWs. If I did a custom moveset for every single character that I made, it would probably take me like half a year to make all my characters.
And you would never even get a show out by then.
Exactly.
You'd be more.
Also, you're preaching to the choir, buddy.
He's simplified a little bit over the years, though. So, but yeah, I have 50 CAWs, and I just want to make sure that I can get my shows out. So the thing is, go in, make them simple.
He still makes 100. He still makes 100 CAWs in damn near the first month.
Yep. I'll do 50 within like the first 2 months. But that's why I'm setting things up the way I'm setting them up.
Because I can bash you all day for that.
I know. But yeah, for me, most of my characters have bits and pieces of different characters' movesets added in. I have a personal spreadsheet that I use to remember whose movesets they have, and then if I have to change it because that person's no longer in the game, I'll change it, and then I'll just make sure they have the same finishers. I'll try and find something similar to it. A good example of...
Do you want me jumping in for a second on this?
Yeah.
I follow what a buddy of mine does, and I just basically make a whole little sheet for myself where pretty much not necessarily like a spreadsheet. I just do like a Google Doc and just write down the character's name, their age, finishers, whatever. Because I have to always build the characters, figure out what they are, who they are, what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to edit if I'm doing it that way rather than because I'm guessing a spreadsheet would be fucking difficult as hell.
Not really.
Well, I say difficult, but
not really. I like the spreadsheet because most of my characters, it's literally just character name, moveset, signature 1, signature 2, finisher 1, finisher 2, and then taunt. Or the taunts. And it just goes across. and then the next character,
Okay.
and the next character, and then you go all the way down. At one
I
point,
might start doing that where I just go like, I'll just go like moveset and then taunts maybe as a thing to differentiate. So I'm not like always copy and pasting the moveset and then it's like, for example, we've got Kyle Young fucking doing push-ups like he's CM Punk.
yeah. Now for tag teams, I'll make their moves like all. For certain tag teams, they'll have similar moves as each other. They won't have the same moves, but they'll have similar moves, and I'll change it up. Like, I'll pick 2 wrestlers, and I'll be like, all right, I'm going to make you 2 after these 2, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this one's attack, person A's attacks, I'm going to give you person B's attacks, and then swap it. And so I'll do that, too, so they have different variations of movesets that aren't exactly perfect. They're imperfect.
Okay.
For example, Latina Heat at one point had a mixture of it was Sasha and I'm trying to remember who the other character was. Alexa Bliss. So they were a mixture of Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss on their movesets. And then over the years, obviously certain people left the company and certain people had gimmick changes. So I think I switched it up and I did I'm doing like Selena Vega and I think it's Selena Vega and Alexa Bliss now that I use for the movesets. But again, it's not verbatim, it's kind of a mixture of both for each character. But that's how I'll do it for my characters. Nebula, Undertaker. But I gotta make a few changes and add a few things in next year. I made notes this year. Demolition used to just be Goldberg, but is now a Braun Breaker hybrid. So I gave him Braun Breaker's moveset and then added a few things in and changed a few things around. But yeah, that's how I do them. Odds?
10,000 years later.
I know, it took me forever to get to that point. I'm sorry, guys. I droned on. I apologize if I put anybody to sleep. Odds. Okay, smartass. It's like do.
All right. Every single wrestler that I have is custom.
I believe it.
Every single wrestler I have has a custom moveset. If anyone that's watched my show, they know that if something is a finisher, if something is a signature, if something is well known for somebody else, you will rarely see somebody else do it. That's why for a while, you barely saw Power Driver because Stephen Jones is there. Stephen Jones is gone. Woo! What do you know? Look what's come back.
The pile driver.
Pile driver. Because that makes that makes that move special.
Yeah.
That makes that move special, and if that one person does it, then you have to wait to see that one person to see that move. And also doesn't step on that person's toes. The movesets always fit the wrestler, always fit their style, always fit what their style is, what they're going for, how their moveset is supposed to, how their move, what fits their moveset. If they're more high flying, then have more lucha moves. And every signature and finisher works in tandem with each other as much as humanly possible. Because, oh boy, have I seen movesets that don't.
I've had
Okay.
I've had some where the signature is a finisher, and the finisher is a signature, and I'm looking at it going,
Yes,
what is wrong with this?
Yes, and the finisher is not just a finisher; it's a super finisher.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does that make any fucking sense? So they do it harder the next time? Again, this is not insulting anybody's freaking movesets, for the most part. But
The heel face episode has Gab's beautiful image on it. God damn it. I'm sorry.
pretty much.
I'm sorry. I had to read that one out loud.
My heavens. My heavens. A lot of y'all need to work on your movesets.
Yeah, I know. I have to work on my movesets. Okay, I get it.
Not you.
Note to self.
Some people just need, because of how much, like, some of those movesets don't make sense.
Note to self.
Some of the shows that I see, not gonna name a name, but you'll see random somebody else's finisher in the opening match, and that move that they did is as a normal move that someone kicked out at one is the finisher of the person in the main event. That's what with my movesets I make sure I try to stop. Also with my movesets, I try to make sure certain moves are not in everybody's movesets that are overpowered and that are so super fast that nothing can stop them, like the newer crossface. Danny Wells is one of the only exceptions.
I gotta go like, Danny Wells is the only exception to this rule right now because it's his finisher. It makes sense.
Yep, Danny Wells is the only exception, and he does not win every damn match with the damn thing.
I'm only laughing, folks, because I've already heard the rant on this one.
Yes, this
the character.
Oh dear.
I already know this character this is, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not mentioning names. I already know the character though.
If we're talking about David Jackson, yes, David Jackson has the crossface, but I keep on forgetting to get rid of that damn thing.
I'm not talking about David Jackson. One of Benton's opponents who did not end up putting Benton over. I just remember having a conversation with you about it where you were like, God damn it, he wouldn't put him over!
Yes, because that's when I found out in 2K22, that's when I found out that version of the crossface is completely freaking overly powerfully broken.
Yep.
That every move, not even the fastest moves in the game, cannot outspeed that damn crossface.
Yep.
So even a wrestler as slow as molasses will lock in that damn crossface.
I'll tell you who it is.
I have no idea this crossface is on Danny, so
if it is, don't worry, it's his finisher. But I'll tell you who it is off stream.
You mean like if it's like if someone uses a regular finisher?
That's why I said this. That's why I said Danny's is the only exception, because yes, Danny has that very same crossface that is so overly powerfully broken.
Oh God.
Yes, it's that new crossface. It's that newer crossface. That is so super quick and outspeeds everything. But yes, I try to keep every moveset as clean as much as possible to not just have one person sweep the entire roster. Or you see, like, for example, Alice Pierce. Have you seen anybody besides Alice Pierce do the Canadian Destroyer on my show?
No.
Nope.
There's a perfectly good reason for it.
Because you went through and removed every Canadian Destroyer and everyone's moveset.
Anybody that does the Canadian Destroyer does not do the Canadian Destroyer.
Yep.
That's why you don't see. That's why you don't see the, what did Keith Lee call it? The Big Bang Attack or whatever.
The Big Bang Catastrophe.
Yeah, that's why you don't see that on anybody else's moveset but Wilson Hammett.
Yep.
Because that's Ben Wilson Hammett's move since the PS3 days, and it will never be anybody else's. No one will ever see anyone on that show do that move other than him.
Yep.
There are certain moves that no one does but certain other people, and it makes the show different. It pops the show more, where if you, by seeing a certain move, you're like, ooh, that's this person. You know the move by the person. And you know the person by the move.
Gosh dang it.
Gosh dang it, Drake.
Damn it, Fiery.
Oh dear, what did Fiery say?
That's why you need to have a move that you can truly hit from anywhere at any time, such as the super kick or the Kinshasa. By the way,
Super kick, Kinshasa, RKO.
I've looked through Drake's moveset before because I was curious to see how you did it, and I laughed how many times I saw the damn super kick and Kinshasa being used. I was like,
because
dang it.
I was in the party when he did it. It was a joke.
Oh,
I was like, you should have an entire moveset just with the damn super kick, and he did. And I think it was 19. It was one of Rick's shows. Immediately it was either 19 or 18. It was one of Rick's shows. Whenever he started doing the super kicks, and then the AI would instantly figure out what he was doing, and every single time he went for the super kick, it got countered. and he lost.
Oh my god!
It was hilarious.
Yes, but as a heel, that's what you want.
Well, yeah, and then he became the GZW World Champion and has been champion ever since.
Yes,
Bruno Sammartino of GZW.
Yes. hey Drake, how long have you been GZW World Champion? Just out of curiosity, type that in the chat for us so we have a number of years.
Has it been over 8 years at this point?
Yeah, we need the number in the chat so we can take a screenshot and send it to Rick.
Yeah.
Just be like, you need to hurry up and do a show.
But yeah, that's how I do my movesets. It's all based off of.
Just kidding. We love you, Rick.
We love you, Rick. Had to go there. It's based off of how it works for the show.
Yep.
There's only a few people that do the same damn move. There's like 3 people that do the same damn move, and it works for all 3 of them. And they stand out even though they do it. Jay Benton, Max Young, and Brandon Ace.
All of them unique enough to
do the damn diamond cutter, aka their RKO.
Yep.
And when Stephen Jones was there, it was 4. Because he did the diamond cutter. But those are the only people that can pull that off.
Yep. No, I get it. I have.
It's a very rare thing. Like I said, any other moveset for me, it's like whenever I see a moveset of somebody's that has moves that are common moves on the show, I'm just like, oh boy, it's gonna take a bit for me to make this work.
Yeah. I have to say, he does have a pretty varied moveset. I was really expecting when I went in to look at your moveset, by the way, Fiery, I was expecting to see like a lot more super kicks than I actually did, so it is a very varied now. Drake has a fairly good arsenal, but yeah, it would be funny as hell to have a super kick king version of Drake, just to see how he would fare in this game, because I think the AI might be a little dumber. It might work better.
It might be. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think the super kick party might work a little better in this game.
The only person that's driven me fucking insane is gosh dang is Kelly Mavericks.
What did he do?
I told you what he did.
Oh, he won't stop taunting.
Why I had to cut down the freaking 4-way?
Yeah, because he would taunt all the time. Every time he
Because the match
taunted.
took about an hour.
Yep.
God damn.
Yep.
Because all he would do is taunt in the freaking opponents couldn't figure out. Dude, let's go around the steel steps and try to get his ass.
I was like, Kelly Mavericks, you'll either give me one of the funniest moments or one of the most infuriating moments.
Yes.
The funniest moment, because I remember I showed you the fucking GIF I made.
Oh, I know.
Uh-huh.
And I remember.
Yeah, there was an infamous GIF I made of essentially Kelly Mavericks low blowing himself.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Using a ring post.
Meaning, I don't think Jen's gonna be making any kids with this man anytime soon.
No, she doesn't have to worry about birth control for at least a year or two. It's gonna take a little while for the boys to grow back.
Pretty much with that.
Yeah.
Even with the money he has from his new best friend.
From Jake Maverick, who just won today. Oh god. Never gonna hear the fucking end of this, am I?
No, you're not.
American Phoenix's moveset, it's unique. It's unique unto himself. And I always love it when I do a moveset that I do movesets like that, custom like that, and the character gets over. Because when I don't buy the game, that means two people have to make the CAW, and that means they have to copy my moveset point for point.
I did that with Luther.
that's how good my movesets are.
I actually learned a lot about making movesets recently, because in 23 I made Luther for you. I made Rocky. Let's see, Blaze made Carmen, so I don't have to worry about that.
Blaze made Carmen. I made Armageddon. I think Julia Sabina and Barbara Sheffield at one point. Yes, I know. If he pops up, I know that's my fault.
Feet's here. He's watching. So, yeah, Feet. Samurai made Barbara Sheffield in 2K23.
I needed her on my roster, but then I think things have changed.
I also made Philip. That was an interesting. I made Philip in 23. That was interesting.
That was funny as hell.
But I didn't use Q's moveset because I did it first, and then the dipshit started actually doing good, and I was like, "You're not supposed to do good." No.
When he body slammed Wally.
Yeah, he freaking hit a Dominator on Wally. He didn't just body slam him, he hit a Dominator on Wally, and Philip is, for anybody who doesn't know, he's a little twig. So I had to tweak his moveset a little bit since then, but he'll be back this December on a special 23 show. We're going to go back to 23 for a few episodes later in the year, but that's beside the point. Anyway.
I would say
I know that Samurai made Julia Sabina because because one of her tattoos is in the wrong spot.
I'm sorry, okay? I didn't know everything.
When I saw that, I laughed my ass off. I'm sorry, I laughed my ass off.
Hey,
I know.
It's okay.
I was fine. I was fine with it, but I laughed my ass off because I'm like, yeah, that. If anybody that knows my work knows exactly who did not make that.
Well, that's okay. If you look at Zero, he's got one of the wrong tattoos on his back.
I never actually.
His back or his shoulder, one of the two. One of those two tattoos is the incorrect tattoo. I realized it after I did everything, and I was just like, I don't feel like doing anything else right now.
I honestly didn't freaking notice.
Perfect. Then I did my job. Anyway,
I'll put it this way: odds. Next time you need someone to make Julia Sabina, ask somebody else. I don't really want to make Julia anymore.
There wasn't a bad Julia. I'm just picking on the one thing that I noticed that made me bust out laughing.
I didn't know that until now.
meanwhile, Luther was perfect.
I know. I kept it from you.
It's like, yeah, so now you guys are hearing the same thing I am for the first time. Apparently I did the wrong thing.
Meanwhile, Luther and Rocky Lee Scott were perfect.
You worked your ass off. It's long enough that it's long enough far away from 23 that I can easily say it now and we can laugh about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I also made Harvey Gibson in 23.
Yeah, Harvey's not that hard to remake, in fairness.
Not really.
Yeah,
I easily make Harvey Gibson because if anyone wants to know how I make Harvey Gibson now that he's in LTD, he's just Gary Hart.
I figured
I pretty much just do a variation on any of Gary Hart's looks in the past and go there, put a suit on him, boom.
Yeah.
And if you notice Harvey Gibson's name, it's the reverse of Gary Hart.
Well, and
Harvey Gibson, GHHG. Gary Hart, GH.
Oh, that's smart. That's really
for
smart.
anyone that has ever wondered.
That's actually a really cool throwback or a really cool reference.
And for his voice, that's what I try to capture with Harvey Gibson's voice is Gary Hart, and that voice is a pain in the ass to try to do.
Yes.
Oh, we know. It's funny as hell to listen to because if you've ever seen an SCD show where he actually does kind of promo in that voice, but still.
Yeah, because Gary Hart is a fellow Chicagoan like me and Samurai. He's a fellow Illinoisan.
Hello.
But he's an Illinoisan that grew up in the lower ends of Chicago, the ghetto end of Chicago, with the mobsters, the Mexicans, the African Americans. He was in that side of town. And he grew up in the era of the mob, like the mafia. So he has a little bit of a ghetto accent to him. But he also spent some time. Sense. Yeah, but he also spent some time in Texas. So you can tell a little bit of his southern drawl that he got from being in Texas.
Yep.
What I was going to say was, it makes sense as to why Gibson's now working with the mafia.
That was a little throwback. So with Gibson's voice, that's what I'm always trying to do, but it always turns out turning into a bad Jamaican accent.
I thought you were just trying to be Gambit.
You're trying to be Gambit before fucking Channing Tatum ever got the chance.
Yeah, it could start sounding New Orleans related too, but Channing Tatum has a better voice for that than me. To be Gambit.
I just
Loved his gambit, by the way.
I just heard really in that last LTD promo, or the one that Blaze has been playing, that's all I hear is the New Orleans, like, I think, is he from New Orleans? Like, I know he's from Chicago, but damn, did he spend some time in like the
Actually,
New
I don't say where Harvey Gibson is from.
You should make him from New Orleans.
I could, but as Jim Cummings has said on his podcast, even a bad impression is a new character.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I keep going with that accent for Gibson, because that's his voice. And I went with it. And he's an easy call to make. He doesn't have a moveset. He's fun to put together.
Mm-hmm.
He's a manager. Love doing managers. They're easy to make. They don't have a moveset.
And managers this year actually get involved in the matches. They don't just stand there and look pretty. So that's
one of the best, one of the funnest movesets that I ever tried, that I ever made, was actually David Perfect's.
Really?
Oh,
why is that?
Because if you notice or if anyone had the opportunity to look at his moveset, no one ever did, but if they ever had the opportunity to look at his movesets from 22, when I made him for that storyline, all of his moves that he does all can be done by somebody that would quote have one leg.
So he doesn't do anything like risky that would.
No, he does not. His moveset is completely different than how his moveset was when he was in active competition, and it's completely changed based off of the fact that in character he has a prosthetic leg.
Interesting.
So his entire moveset is based off of him having a prosthetic leg.
Okay.
So he has a moveset that somebody with a prosthetic leg would be able to pull off. If they're an ex-wrestler that was in a car accident, that lost his leg, and he hasn't been in the ring in eons.
Yeah, really.
That's why those matches worked so well.
Yeah.
So when he finally got to do moves in the match, it looked like somebody that could barely walk.
Yep. Oh, you actually, like, when you watch that match, his match, you feel for him because he does get his ass kicked. Like, he gets his hands on. He gets his revenge, but he also gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, and that's my favorite point in those matches when I did them. That's why movesets are so important in a match, and why having them be different is so important, because of the fact that he's an ex-wrestler. He barely had any matches when he was active. He had like maybe a couple, and one of them was for the world title against Chris. He was very limited in his interactions before his car accident. Pretty much the car accident explaining away why the character never came back. Other than I didn't want to make him.
Yep. Okay.
So it led to that great match where it was, he's back in the ring. People feel for him because he's a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Yeah. All right. So we do have a question from the chat. This is from Prime Time, and it's for odds. Have you ever made a odds cornet character?
Not odds cornet, but I have. Back in the day. And the less than 10 people that about 10 to 20 people that downloaded Raw X Wrestling back in the day will know this for a fact. That's a little jab at me. But with Raw X Wrestling, The commentator was me. So I made myself in those old games. And his alternate attire was me in wrestling gear.
So what you would imagine yourself as for wrestler.
Yes. And it was wrestling gear that it had. Obviously, Captain America's shield is on the singlet. A bunch of the things that I like were on the singlet that I could find. Something the N7 for Mass Effect, I think, was there. I think someone from Pokemon was there. I think a few things that I'm a fan of was there. But I always would pick. But when it comes to having what I was wearing as a street clothes as a commentator, it was me wearing obviously shoes, pants, and a shirt I actually had in real life. So if you saw any of the Raw Life Wrestling shows back in the day, and you saw any of the shirts that I was wearing, that was actually a shirt that I had in real life.
Okay.
I no longer have the Captain America short sleeve shirt no more. I still have the CM Punk shirt in my closet. I barely wear it, but I still have it when he first became the best in the world, the white one. Still have it. Every shirt that I wore on that show as the commentator is a shirt that I wore. And a shirt that I had still have.
Okay.
And if I would ever do that again, I would, if they actually added that cutscene back. If they added the cutscene back where you could place people on the commentary booth and see them talking.
Yep.
I would easily do that cutscene and have that cutscene every single damn show and show myself at the commentary booth.
It'd be a little bit awkward if one of us jumped in with you, though, because the camera wouldn't be on us. But still,
yeah, but still, I would easily do that if they ever brought that back.
Yeah.
But since I was story designer and I highly doubt they'll ever come back, the likelihood of me making myself again is slim to none, because I have enough cause here that I don't need to waste my time making myself.
Right.
Just to have somebody a CAW that's gonna rot away with dust on.
That's fair.
That's fair enough.
That's more than fair, actually. Okay. Do we have any other talking points on movesets? Do you guys have any
any wrestler or any CAW that you want to know how I came up with the moveset?
You know what? I have one to ask about. Carmen Gonzalez.
Ooh.
Carmen Gonzalez.
I mean, you should have figured I was going to ask about that one, considering she's currently dating one of mine, so...
Yeah. Her moveset, I wanted a luchador. I wanted a lucha libre person. When I came up with her, I was always thinking of a mask, but when I got going with her, the mask didn't feel right. So her moveset is pretty much just a luchador's moveset, and I just modified it as time went on. The lucha libre style moveset of high flying submissions that eventually would lead to the juniors in Japan. like Jushin Liger and all them with a different style of submissions and high flying.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much what her moveset is based off of, and it's just evolved as time has gone on. That's why Chris's moveset is so easy to make, because of how long I've been doing him. I pretty much know the select few moves that I instantly will go to because of how often he's done them throughout his entire career. So immediately get those out of the way. Okay, what's the rest of his moveset? Boom, boom, done. I could finish it in less than an hour.
Yeah.
Another moveset like that that's super quick is Phoenix.
Gotcha.
Phoenix is not that long. Doesn't take that long. Because his moveset to me, mentally in my head, has become so iconic. Another one that's super easy is Cheryl Shipwreck. It's just using all arm moves, and God bless this game for having so many arm moves in that they can have.
I feel like at some point I kind of want to do Cheryl Shipwreck versus Jade Young, because they both do arm submissions. So
yeah. And now that she's back, I was very happy with her return. Especially with how many people that so wanted her back.
Points over at Beetle.
Cannot wait.
And I can say this now that she's back. Immediately, when I said I was gonna get rid of her for the rest of 22 because I didn't have anything for her. And I sent Beetle the promo before it aired. And the first thing that he sent me back was "I'll miss her, damn it."
Yep. Cheryl's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get rid of Cheryl. Nope. Now that she's
back. And when you see the "Are You Prepared" video, and you see what she wrote on that episode when she left, if you do not tear up, I don't know who you are.
But when I saw,
I poured my heart into that damn promo.
But when I saw the return video, the instant thing coming from me was, or now my instant thought is, okay, how the hell do I get her back?
Uh-huh.
I'm at 100 slots right now. I'm like, fuck, how do I get her back? How do I do it? So she will be coming back after the Champions Cup and after the draft and after High Octane and all that good stuff. In February, I have plans to bring her back. So
yeah, because I took a while to get everything going. It did not take as long as 22. Yeah. And it wasn't as heartbreaking as 22.
Yep.
22 just hurt my soul.
Well, you uploaded her, and I was going to grab her. And I was just going to grab her and hold on to her and not use her and wait for you to have the video. Because, oh wait, no, you uploaded her after you did the video, right?
Yes, I did. I uploaded her after I did the video.
And by that time my roster was already completed.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, this is how long I will hold off for something. Cheryl Shipwreck was one of the first people I made.
Wow, really?
Yes.
She was one of the first people I made.
This jackass sent a screenshot of her to me after he made her.
Yes, I did. And
I think he got back is she ready? And he was like, no. I'm like, damn it.
She technically, I think I said technically she is, but she is not coming back until I get started.
Yep, I remember that, and then I started harassing you to hurry up and get started. And then by the time she was ready to come back, I didn't have room for her. So I was like, damn it. So, yeah, she's on the docket to bring back. I miss having her on my roster.
So, does anybody else anyone wants to know about?
We can open this last question to everybody after no one else has any questions for odds.
Let's see. I've got one. It's a bit controversial. A very controversial pick here. Barbara Sheffield.
Ooh. Barbara's moveset is kind of easy. Is kind of easy to understand. It's a modern variation take on her father's moveset. If you ever take a look at her moveset, it pretty much is a variation of an updated moveset. How I would do movesets today compared to what her moveset was, what her father's moveset was then.
Okay, well then I guess Axe Warrior. Or her dad, Owen Sheffield.
Yeah, her father, Axe Warrior, aka Owen Sheffield.
Was the thought process behind his?
There wasn't.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind.
This was back in that era where I would do movesets like everybody else. That's why when I say that to get better at movesets, I understand the process.
Yeah,
I understand where you're at. You need to. That's why I say you gotta just put your nose to the grindstone and figure things out and learn and look at the moves, and look at where the moves are in the process of, ooh, this could be a cool setup to this.
yeah.
That's why I say that, because all I did after that was just give him the two things that I liked in 06, which was the spinning complete shot, which is still in the game, and his ace bomb, which is a power bomb, but it was JBL's power bomb.
Okay.
That they took out of the game. The one where he pretended to smoke a cigarette and put the ashes on the back on the back.
I remember that powerbomb now. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they took that out. So and that was his ace bomb. So it was a whole in Barbara's moveset, that's why she does the complete shot. That's why she does the spinning complete shot, because that's now taken out of the game. So it's the sister Abigail, but still it's a spinning complete shot. That's why she does that, because it's her father's move.
Okay.
It's an updated how I would do movesets now on the daughter of Alex Emerson. On the Alex Emerson, the daughter of I'm thinking of the Emerson reveal, of Owen Sheffield, of how I would do Owen Sheffield's moveset today.
She's Owen's daughter, but what Owen didn't know is Alex slept with Owen's wife, so she's actually Alex's daughter. she's the granddaughter of the new owner.
Fuck you.
Oh, come on, that would make an interesting story.
But, no, it would not. That's why her moveset is so very much like her father's.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose.
Okay.
But it's just an update of how I would do it now.
Okay.
I gave her something that her father would not have done.
Yeah.
Which is the Steiner screwdriver.
Okay. So she's a little different from Dad, but at the same time, she also has moves that are throwbacks.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
And there's always people like Ashley Knight.
Yep.
You can see she does Sami Zayn's Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yep.
If you look at Chris's signatures, he does the Blue Thunder Bomb, but he does a different variation of Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yep.
The little sister does it better than the older brother.
Yep.
and is a lot more flashy with it.
What I'm looking forward to is seeing the difference between Sarah Knight and Alexander Knight when it's time.
Oh, completely different.
That's what I'm looking forward to, and you don't
He's
need
more
to.
like her. He's more like her father.
Yeah,
She's more like her father and her mother. His moveset is completely different to anybody's. He is nothing like like his father and mother, but at the same time has a little bit of them in every move.
Yeah.
Without him ever realizing it.
Well, it's like I have a character idea in mind for a moveset for a character. I'm not gonna say the character's name because haven't ever made this character, and they would never fit in my actual roster right now, but they might fit in somebody else's roster in 25 because some people have shows that are in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just me taking notes because I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna make the son and the daughter different.
Yeah.
For the people who I'm thinking of making characters for next year to send off to sets that are in the future.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to characters that I haven't, just to finish up that idea of characters that I haven't brought back.
Well, it's not even haven't brought back; it's have never made before. These characters weren't even thought processes until maybe the end of last year, at the end of a certain storyline.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's characters that I haven't brought back or haven't done.
Yeah.
Haven't done in the CAW world.
Mm-hmm.
One, if you remember correctly, from back in the Royal X Wrestling days, King Cobra. I have not brought back King Cobra.
Okay.
That's because as much as I could probably make a cool outfit with that Cobra mask for him and with entrances and shit, he does not work in this generation.
Yeah.
He's not a character. He's a character that he came up with when I was 13.
Right. Mm.
He doesn't work in this day and age.
Well,
and he barely worked in the Royal X Wrestling era, so he damn sure won't work here.
It's like that frickin' blue afro mofo that I brought back for one show because I did like an old like reunion show of some sort from one of my old from like back in the day. I had a character from No Mercy, and I brought him into these games for one episode just to have him walk out, and it was the stupidest thing ever. But he had the Rock's entrance, the guy with the blue afro. He walked out with the frickin' you remember him. You go, Beetle never ever use that character ever again. Okay. That's why you'll
never see a Royal X Wrestling reunion show. As much as the few people that downloaded those shows liked them,
mm-hmm.
That's why you see a reunion of it. It's too far away. Some people that would watch were never around then. So you're preaching to an entire to a room of atheists.
Well,
that are not willing to hear your sermon.
But on a side note, now that Rob Van Dam is back in the game, that means I could actually bring, if I really wanted to, I could bring back that. I had a character named Bozo at one point who I made in the like late SmackDown versus Raw games.
Bozo Clown?
Yeah, his name was Bozo. Yeah, I didn't call him Bozo the Clown. He was just called Bozo, and he had the receding afro. He had the receding afro. He had face paint, or he had a face mask, because that was back when the hair would go over the mask. Yeah, I was thinking of bringing him back for fun for like 1 or 2 episodes. He'd be an old old legend that haven't aged at this point because it's been 15 years. Hey, Dubs Wrestling, welcome in.
Hey, Dubs.
Moveset. Did I spell it wrong?
Hey.
Don't tell me I spelled it wrong.
But yeah, another one that I have not brought back, but at this point, his idea I may just give to Monk or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He was a character that I made when I was like 14, so so be kind. His name was Jackson Williams, but his nickname was Beat 'em Up, so it was Jackson Beat 'em Up Williams.
That actually sounds like it'd work.
And I've never gotten his idea down right. So I've always thought of sending the idea to Monk just so he can take the idea and run with it.
Also, side note, it's all good, Dubs. My bad for calling it out. I should have kept my mouth shut. I tend to make typos all the time, and Odds tends to call me out on it. So when I saw someone write it, I was like, "Oh no! Don't tell me I did it wrong." It was more on me than anybody else. So, welcome to the stream. We are talking movesets today. But so yeah,
we've kind of went off on a tangent.
Yeah, we finished up the moveset conversation. Now we're just like on a tangent and just talking about like random cost stuff now. But yeah, we're so you were talking about this character that you're going to bring back to Monk, or thinking of bringing back, but
I will more than likely send the pitch to Monk and see if he has any room to fiddle with the gimmick idea.
Okay.
But if not, that's perfectly fine because I don't know how I could bring him back anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just at that point of I don't know how I could bring him back. I have ideas, but nothing can work at this point with how the show is going.
And right now, that for me, that's one call. There's one call that I want to bring back, and unfortunately, I'm like, how do I want to do this? Because last time I brought you back, you couldn't do much in other companies, and now I'm trying to figure out where the fuck you fit in with my stuff. Besides the obvious feud, and the obvious feud is also one that might take time.
Yeah.
Well, then you got me.
I'll tell you guys more about this character after the stream is done.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why with some of the CAWs on my show, that's why you saw some of them retired, like Pharaoh Dowdy.
You did miss us talking about movesets, but we've kind of wrapped up that part, and we're kind of moving. I don't know what direction we're moving. We're talking about old CAWs right now.
Well, we're leading into the quitting time and just talking about it. But Pharaoh Dowdy, his moveset doesn't work in this day and age because it's a more MMA based moveset on a big giant Brock Lesnar like guy.
Yeah. Dowdy's a beast.
And it doesn't just him in general doesn't work in this day and age as like a unstoppable Brock Lesnar / Goldberg type. So I just eventually said, okay, instead of just having him a one a year come in to kick somebody's ass, why don't just retire him to give up a spot to somebody else that could use it.
Yeah, I see that. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing with my shows. It's like I'm keeping Octane in 24, and I'm moving Galaxy and MXT to 25, so that way it gives more people opportunity to have their calls on the show. Because I have people reaching out who want spots, and it's like right now I have 100 slots that are full. So my goal is probably February. I'll open up the roster. Brooklyn
Yeah.
did reimage Brooklyn Joker. I'm excited to see when he will debut the new look. Oh, nice.
Oh, awesome.
But yeah, as far as old characters, I don't know.
I don't have many of them that I haven't already brought back in some way.
Yeah, I'm
Emperor Maximilian I've technically brought back because believe it or not, Julius Sabina's is his freaking either little sister or daughter.
Yep.
You don't know which one it is anymore.
I don't remember or give a shit.
You
Point.
said she was his daughter.
She's become
You told me
she's
she was his
become
daughter.
big. She's become bigger than he ever was anyway.
I mean, I've brought back War Dragon at one point, and then he went away, and now his son is taking the mantle. But I'm thinking of having him drop it because it's not doing him any favors. He was good as Gavin Goodwin, so I'm thinking of just having him drop the gimmick altogether and say, this was my father's gimmick. I don't need to be my father. I need to be myself. So that's probably coming soon.
Easiest way to do that, just have him lose a mask versus whatever match.
True, but I was thinking of just having him retire the mask on his own instead of doing the mask versus match. I don't know. I'll figure it out though. And then Nadia's brothers, the strong arms, the strong arm Vikings. They were CAWs I made in 2018 and then didn't do anything with. Or sorry, no, 2017 and did nothing with. And I brought them back last year and just they kind of didn't make the cut this year. So come 22 or come February, they'll be making their 24 debut finally after like a year of not being on TV.
Meanwhile, Nadia's been getting all the spotlight put it back on her.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Nadia's been front and center for a lot of the story this year. But I think it's time to bring those two boys back and focus on that tag division, but they're only going to be on once a month. So that's the thing about Octane is it'll only be on once a month. Because I'm going to do a fully edited show for it. Fully edited promos, everything. That's the plan. I want time to do it, so I'm not in a hurry. So, and then
But you're gonna make yourself be in a hurry anyway.
I know, I always do. But Galaxy and MXT are supposed to be live shows if I can pull that off. If I can convince myself to do it live, which we've seen how that works. So, but that's my wrap up. Yeah, that's my thing for the day. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to cover before we
Not really.
close up shop? Samurai?
How about you, Samurai?
Kyle.
Earth to Samurai.
Kyle. Hey Kyle, did you see what that move that Leon did earlier today off the top rope?
The ass drop.
What Kyle?
Because he's an ass fan.
Kyle,
Bam.
are you there, Kyle? Samurai, you there?
Okay, let me try something.
Uh-oh. He's back!
He's back.
He's not rage, so he's not better than ever. GM mode reference right there, folks. Alright, we can't hear Kyle, so Kyle.
Samurai.
I think this is probably a good point for us to go ahead
Uh-huh.
and close the
And-
shop.
Wrap things up.
And
Okay, folks, it is official. The shop is officially closed for today. Hope you all have enjoyed. Hope you all have learned a lot. We'll get more information in stock for the next episode. On the next time the shop is open.
Yep. And on
Always remember to pay at the desk.
oh my god, I thought you were gonna say always remember to keep a stim pack handy.
No, that's another shop.
I know, but I mean that's like every time you say always remember, the only thing that pops up in my head is always remember to keep a stim pack handy.
Oh yeah, it's because I've said it so much.
Yep. All right.
Well, with that being said, hope you all have enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. This stream is dead.
Welcome to the Let's Talk Shop House, where we talk all about the digital wrestling in. You already know, we're here to talk booking shows.